What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Hey, how are you, El Teddy?
I'm all right. How are you?
Well, dang, you can give me a little more pep in your step.
I'm doing the best I can.
I know your energy is low. If it get to be too much and you got to tap out, just let me know.
Actually, my energy is pretty good right now. It's just
Okay.
that I'm real nasally and congested, so I sound like an octave or two lower.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, if you need to tap out, you let me know. We're not gonna be here long because the episode ain't give us a whole lot. So let me address everybody. So thank you, welcome. Unfortunately, today the majority of the regular panel will not be available. Peace Love is having some technical difficulties. Geechee Girl has a family celebration. And El Michelle is also has an obligation. So hopefully everybody will be back next week. And it is what it is, y'all. This ain't no job. This is a voluntary position. And if you can
y'all stuck with me, the substitute teacher.
Well, I ain't gonna say we stuck with El Teddy because I actually had invited El Teddy on the panel before I knew that we, because you know me, I'd have done it by myself. You know, I don't have no problems with that. So, but thank you, El Teddy, for stepping in and agreeing to come on down and hang out with us.
No problem. I love you, girl. I love you, girl.
So, but I also said that when I started this panel that I would invite other people to come through and, get different points of view, especially the fact that the panel is all women. I definitely want to have some testosterone on the panel just to balance this whole thing out. Because, sometimes we as women see things a certain way and men see things a different way. And sometimes it's good to just get that different perspective and that different point of view. So, first of all, let me say this, that I am actually shocked that you actually enjoy the show. Let's start there.
That's where we're starting. That is
well, I mean,
I actually know I do like what Carlos King has at least done with this show. At least from the beginning, we're starting with the couples. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
And wherever it goes from here, at least where we're starting with couples. And I feel like you may have more background details than I do. I feel like they had intended on that Winter and her man being another couple, and that went awry while they were in production. That's kind of what it looks like.
It looks like that to me as well, because what we know is, and I'm actually going to do a quick drop on Miss Winter in a little while. I just got in the house and I didn't have time to do it before the live, but she did a live and she kind of dropped a whole lot of tea. But what I do know from that live is that he signed a waiver to be on a reality show. And that's why we're seeing so much of him, because he did sign off on it. So we're going to definitely, what she was clear to let me know, or I ain't gonna say let me like it was my personal live, but what she was clear to let us know is that their storyline is far from being over.
So he's on another show?
No, I'm saying their storyline on this season.
Okay.
It's far from being over. Like, we're going to get to see the kids' point of view. Her mama got some stuff to say. So their storyline plays all the way out throughout the season. And so that's why I agree with you that they absolutely, you saw on the episode last night, you sort of saw their audition tape.
Right.
They absolutely was supposed to be, full-time on the show, and then things went awry. And of course, that's a great, you can't let that storyline go somewhere if they're willing to talk about it. So, but it'll definitely be interesting. So I know, we don't want to carry too much over. But I know you weren't the biggest Monique fan. So, I mean, we're going to get into the ins and the outs, but that's part of the reason why I was surprised because,
Well, I
not saying
will
you hated
say,
Monique or nothing, but I know
what
you
I
just wanted
will
to make
say is
sure.
that Monique is not getting the Bravo edit in this show. Bravo, once they pick and choose who's going to be the villain, they're going to be the villain, whether or not they want to.
Right. Doesn't matter what they
So,
bring to the table.
right. So she definitely doesn't get that edit. So it does bring her in a softer light, I guess. I never really had a problem with Monique, contrary to popular belief. I really didn't until she decided she wanted to crack some skulls. And so then I have problems with people cracking skulls. Um,
Mm.
but no, but I think Monique is still gonna be Monique regardless. At the end of the day, it's still gonna poke out. I don't care what kind of edit you get, you are who you are.
Yeah.
And I think parts of that is already starting to poke his head out. Like I feel like last episode she tried to put on the good face and the good, you know, put on the good front and kind of show you, hey, I'm not as bad as I was portrayed over on Potomac. But this episode, I saw us going back to kind of seeing some of the other Moniques that we had gotten used to. So I don't know.
Well, let's get into this episode. So last night's episode was the second episode. It's a brand new
But hey,
series.
cool gamer, I'm not sure who you are,
Hey,
but
Cool Gamer. Well, Cool Gamer has been hanging out. Cool Gamer is a new subscriber.
hey,
And they've been hanging out. So, I don't know what you do. Well, what games do you play? Obvious by your name, you're a gamer. I'm not a big gamer, but what games do you play? Just interested. But yeah, Cool Gamer's been hanging out. Been hanging out. So, um, hold on, real quick. One last thing. Let me let Abby know we live. Cause to make sure I have a mod in the chat. Um. So let's get this started. Let's start from the beginning and work our way up, honey.
okay.
The first scene we see, we have Monique and Ashley are meeting for lunch. Um, the biggest thing I feel like with that scene was them talking about them wanting to be able to do some things and not having the kids and basically taking a back step to their husbands and finding their own identity, getting the help they need without looking like they're complaining about needing the help that they
Yeah.
need. I mean, how did that scene play
You
to
know
you?
what? You know what that comes off to me? And maybe this is coming from the male point of view, but I understand what they're saying. But at the same point in time, you knew what you signed up for when you decided that you were going to get with this man.
I get it. I'm gonna say this for me, and maybe this is going. I don't want it to come off cold. I don't want it to come off as my blues ain't. Let's say my blues ain't as big as yours, or however the saying goes. But I'm just not understanding what's so hard about if you get a nanny. Like, I guess I just feel like people like my mom who had to work two jobs and still managed to raise her three children, and I never felt neglected. Don't I'm not gonna say that there weren't times where I, in the moment I felt like, well, dang, mommy this and mommy that. But my mother was my Girl Scout troop leader. We went to church every Sunday. Like I don't, I'm not saying that they don't have legitimate concerns. But my thing is, if my mama did it without, and granted, she had help because my grandmother lived with us. So she had to be late. She knew it was somebody at the house and that kind of thing. But my thing is, y'all have money to hire a nanny.
Exactly.
So if you want to go out and do certain things, I get it. Listen, at the end of the day, and I'm sorry for the men out there, at the end of the day, a man gonna be a man. Like men are they're just never gonna get it.
And the thing about it is, too, if you met this man and when you met him and you got with him, he was this larger than life person. You know what I'm saying? Like he was this big image person or whatever. You met him in this arena. I find it, and you may know better than me. If you met him or y'all been together since like y'all was in high school or something, and y'all grew up together, like before he was real big and stuff like that. Okay, I got you. I get you. You got a point. But if you met him in his career, then I feel like you knew kind of what you signed up for,
Mhm.
and you got the money, means, and wherewithal to be able to still do those kind of things.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to sound insensitive, y'all, and I don't know rich people's problems, but I just know that it can be done, and it can be done well without those things. So certainly, I'm sure if my mom or my parents had, because I mean, I grew up both my parents in the house, but my dad worked two jobs too, and I'm sure if they had the money and could afford a nanny, they kind of got a default nanny in my grandmother, but she was there, and I know that it alleviated a lot off of my parents, and I just don't understand why. I don't know. I just feel like Monique was talking about this on the last show, and I just feel like y'all ain't fixed it yet because we're talking about 2 years later. It's still the same thing. I don't understand, but neither here
The
nor
other
there.
thing that if I never hear Monique is going to drive. Here's one thing that's probably going to end up driving Chris more and more away. I hate that she keeps saying, "Oh, that's how your family do it," or "That's how y'all Alabama people do it." Okay, you can't keep saying that because you knew what you like. There's this reference to either him being from Alabama and them being so different in that regard, or how his family does it, which is so different from how her. Ma'am, you in this marriage now, and y'all have been together 10 years, and you still going to that, baby. You got to let that go.
Yeah,
You
at some point you
married
gotta
that,
let.
and you
Some point you do. You
decided
gotta let
that's what
that
you
go.
gonna do.
Exactly.
That will get on my nerves. Like that
What's
will
up,
get
Abby?
on my
What's
nerves.
up, Philly? How you doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah, Philly, you missed. Both of them said they missed the episode, but you about to get caught up because this episode, up until the last maybe 10 minutes, it wasn't. It was really just laying foundation. So that's the foundation. Now Monique is having a dinner party. She is vegan and she wants to invite the people over and introduce them to a vegan meal. And she said, "Listen, I know what y'all thinking." But I've been vegan for a couple of years now, and I don't even crave meat anymore, and that's fine. That's great. So she invited them over for the vegan dinner. All right. So next we see a scene with DJ Quicksilver and his agent. We find out that his dad died when he was 18, and this guy kind of took over as sort of his pseudo father and his agent and looks out for him. But what we also find out is Quick is a workaholic and
Mm.
will literally work himself into the hospital. I feel like his wife has more of a. I definitely understand her point of view, knowing that this man has literally worked himself to the point where he had to go to the emergency room, or he had to be put on the IV, or he's even passed out while he was DJing. That to me is ridiculous. I think that's a little too much, and it shouldn't only take but one time for that to happen. I don't know. Call me crazy. What you think?
Say that one more time. My thing went in and out. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying Quick and his manager, I was saying he works himself to the point where multiple occasions he's had to go to the
Oh,
hospital, had to
right,
get
right,
vaccines.
right.
I just feel like that should only have to happen one time before you understand your body and you realize that you
And
need to
your
calm down.
manager has to stay on top of that. Like the first time that happens needs to be the last time. Like
Right.
somebody needs to on the team needs to be monitoring. Okay, hey, you doing a lot, or hey, take a little bit of rest. Hey, drink a Gatorade or something. Mix in
Right. I mean,
something.
well, in that same sentence, I mean, in that same conversation, you say, well, yeah, I'm here to make sure he doesn't do too much. His wife won't come and get, well, his wife will get me. But then you turn around and tell that man that you booked him for 15 events for CIAA weekend. Operative word being weekend. CIAA, give or take, starts around Wednesday, and it's like All-Star week. I mean,
Yeah, it goes the whole weekend.
yeah, it's we got I used to go to the MEAC and the CIAA, and yeah, if you get there early, you might get there by Wednesday. There's some day parties or whatever. The party usually starts around Wednesday and ends on Sunday, but that's still you're talking about 15 events in a 4-day window. That is ridiculous, and they should. That's where I look at the manager and say, why would you book him like that? Why would you book somebody? I don't care who they are. 15 events in a 4 to 5 day window, that is ridiculous.
It is.
Because even if it's over a 5 day window, that's 3 events in one day. That's a breakfast. If we're gonna look at it like that, that's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner party where you DJing on your feet in a hot room. That's too much. And
Yeah,
I
it's a
get
lot
it.
going on.
You want to make money while you can make money, but like Abby just said in the chat, you can't make money if you dead.
Child. I just feel like I understand what he's trying to do. My question is, just like I said, um, the wives knew what they signed up for, the husbands knew what they signed up for as well. And if you knew you did not marry a wife or marry this woman that was already well established in, yeah, boo, you got this career going on, but I got this career going on as well. You understand what I'm saying? Then I guess he's looking at it like the bills got to be paid. You expecting a certain
Exactly. Hey,
level
Miss
of,
Honey.
you know, I don't know.
Hey, Shed. How you doing? Um, exactly. And so, Abby makes a valid point. Abby said, "Wait a minute. His schedule would have to be approved by me after the first hospital incident because the manager clearly don't care." I'm agreeing with Abby on that one. I'm agreeing with Abby on that one. If the first time you work my husband to the point where he is in the emergency room on an IV from exhaustion, yeah, we need to. We need to go over this together. I'm with you on that one, Abby. I'm with you on that one, Abby. So that's what we see. And again, shout out to the CIAA, it's the HBCU tournaments around the time of March Madness when all the other conferences are having their tournaments. The winner of CIAA goes to March Madness, the NCAA tournament. So shout out to them bringing the NCAA in. CIAA into it. And like I said, also shout out to the MEAC. What's the conference down there, El Teddy? With Florida
Swag.
A&M?
The swag.
SWAC.
It
Yeah, that's
used
it.
to be
I knew it was
MEAC.
Southern. I knew it was Southern something. I couldn't remember when I
Well,
was doing my
really,
review.
MEAC used to really, Florida used to really be all MEAC, and now
Mhm.
everybody's leaving the MEAC and going over to the
Yeah,
SWAC.
everybody's leaving MEAC. MEAC used to be
Yeah,
big too when I
because
was in.
is A&T still in MEAC, or did they leave?
No, A&T actually A&T is not even in HBCU league anymore. They're in the I don't want to lie, but because I was going to say the Liberty League, but that don't sound right. But they're not even in they're not in CIAA or the MEAC.
SWAC
They've
or
gone to a whole, for lack of a better word, wide
okay.
conference. I would tell him, and actually, El Teddy, sidebar, that might be a good conversation. I know you do your during football season, you do your
Yeah, that might be a good
that might be a
conversation.
good
How
conversation with
those
everything going on with Deion Sanders
HBCUs
and
are
everything.
leaving.
That might be a great conversation to have over on
Hmm.
your channel. Anyway, I would tell him he's gonna be mad when he in heaven watching me enjoy the fruits of his labor with another man. Okay, you better say it again for the people in the back. Um, so yeah, and Miss Honey, some of my panel weren't able to make it today, and I know it's short notice, but if you want to come up, let me know. I'll send you the link. Because Miss Honey watches Love and Marriage DC as well.
Okay.
I haven't seen your review this week, Miss Honey, but and Miss yeah. So then after that, we see Monique going for a little job interview, informal, but a job interview with WPGC. Now, WPGC is the big radio station here in the area. When I was growing up, that was the station that played rap, which, for people in y'all know that was a big deal. Rap wasn't played on the regular radio for a long
Right.
time, but they were one of the first radio stations in this area that played rap. They play a lot of go-go.
Okay. I thought it was a news. I thought it was a TV station.
No.
It's a
Mm-mm.
radio station.
It's a radio station here
Okay.
in the
Okay.
area. Donnie, when I was growing up, it was Albie D did the big station, the show in the afternoon. Donnie Simpson had his show there one time, his morning show. Again, I don't listen to radio anymore, so I can't tell you I don't even know what they play. I mean, I'm sure they play the same, but radio stations change platforms all the time. But it seems like they still, maybe they do R&B or more R&B these days, but it's definitely a major audience. WPGC is a major audience. Because I don't really listen to the radio, I'm not familiar with the DJ that she was talking to, but they said that they have their eyes open for a few other candidates, but they wanted to just touch base with her. And one of the things they told her was, you're going to need to have your mornings free. And so once again, we see her opening herself up to making a commitment because she didn't commit. She said she had to talk to her husband, but she said it shouldn't be a problem though. And my thing is, girl, you literally just got finished having lunch complaining. Okay, babe, you literally just had lunch complaining about not having enough support, enough time, and now you're going to take on a whole morning job where you're going to be out of the house every day at 5 o'clock.
Well, the other thing is, I would like to say that they also quickly brought up, hey, boo, don't forget, we don't need all this drama with that fighting. And
They did bring that up.
this is where you can't, everybody that's all for the, oh, yes, whoop they ass, dot, 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 dot. There are repercussions. It's real cute in that 30-second moment. But then when you have the reverberations of that you can't get from under for years to come, and every time you sit in front of a job interview, they're asking you about that, then those are repercussions that you just can't get from under. And all of those people who was in your corner ain't sitting in there in the job interview when you having to give answers.
And it also, I think, too, and this is where we have to talk about, not to go too far left, but this is where we have to talk about the type of jobs you're looking to get into after you leave reality TV. Because there's some type of jobs where that might be an asset, or they may not have a problem. If you want to go on and do Bravo stuff or do your own podcast and all of that. But when you're trying to go back into a corporate environment, those are the hard conversations. So I think that was a valid. I'm glad they showed that. And I think that was valid. I know, and El Teddy, without getting into too much detail, you and I both know that Candace paid a dear price for her shenanigans on the Real Housewives of Potomac. So there are consequences that we don't always see.
Yep.
So Philly said, didn't they talk before the interview? I feel like they probably talked about her going down there. Because she acted like she didn't know what the conversation was. So I don't know if she talked about the commitment. We saw her talk to him after the fact, and he said it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, to his credit, he was like, I'm good, I got it, I got this. So, to his credit, he said he would be able to cover it, but they don't want that drag me mess at their radio station. Right. They don't want that, And again, you gotta, there are repercussions to it. That's all. There are repercussions to it. And let's just go call a spade a spade. The repercussions are going to be harsher for people of our complexion than of the White House wives. Let's just call a fact.
Right.
I mean, it's just
let's just be real clear.
Exactly. Now, here's where things got a little bit interesting. Chris goes to lunch with Kevin. And Kevin gives Chris his side of the story. Now, Chris says, listen, I have known Kevin for a very long time, and I'm not going to just get one side of the story. I want to sit down and talk to my man. I want to hear his side of the story, and I want to understand what's going on from his point of view. I can respect Chris for that. I can respect the hell out of Chris for saying, listen, I ain't just going to sit here and let the women give me their version of the story. I was friends with him. I know him outside of this arena, and I need to talk to him and see what's really going on. I got to respect Chris for that. How you feel about that?
Before I respect Chris for that, and before we go down this rabbit hole, and this going to be the last time I'm going to say, it's not going to be the last time, but I'm going to say this. Can we get somebody, please, in everything that is holy, to go get a wardrobe for freaking Chris Samuel? Because if he wear these deacon suits one more time, I be looking, they make suits for guys Chris's size that look really nice, really suave, really tailored, cut, put together. But he be wearing these suits, and I be like, Monique be dressed to the nine. Monique be looking dressed. And how you let your man walk out the house looking like, oh my God, if he wear that white damn suit one more time, you can't wear an all white suit like that ever. It should not be in your wardrobe. I'm just saying, if it ain't an all-white party, I'm sorry. I, you and Abby and all y'all ladies can do all of the wardrobe stuff for the ladies, and we let y'all go on and on. But as a
I have
man,
not said a
but
word.
as a
I
man,
have allowed you
you
to
got
speak
way
your
too much
piece.
money, Chris, to be on Al Gore's Good Internet and on the damn television looking like you doing
I
these
have
suits.
allowed you to speak your piece, sir. I have said nothing.
Looking like
But I feel like Monique agrees with you because there's been a couple of comments that Monique has made about Chris's wardrobe. I feel like she's probably tried, and that's just a battle she ain't won. I don't know.
she needs to win that back
Because
for somebody
even when they
in
were getting dressed for
production.
the even when they were getting dressed for the dinner party, she made a comment about what he was wearing and what it was gonna look
Like
like.
somebody in production need to be like, bruh, please let me send you to a tailor or somebody. Please. Cause you got way too much money.
I need to light this candle. I need a little bit.
I'm sorry.
I need to light this
It don't
candle.
make no sense. You roll it on down to K and G and all of them and L and M,
Not
all of the different letters. The suit shops that got the little letters on it that the black people go to. Everybody got one in their town. You got the L and M's, the K and G's. Down in Miami, we got a spot called Rasu. So you can't just be going down there. You got that much money, Chris.
Mia says she approves this message. Shed says he be wearing them Rolling Martins.
Girl, like he be
All
wearing
he's
them,
missing is the ass guy. If he gonna get the Rolling Martins,
like he
he's
on
missing the
the
ass guy.
deacon board. Like he on
Not
the
the
deacon
deacon
board.
board.
It's
Child, not
I'm
the deacon board.
serious. It be so
Yes, that's
ridiculous.
yeah. Kevin is Winter's ex-husband, so we about to get into that now.
Okay,
Uh,
so that situation, you notice how they kept chopping that up. You
mhm.
notice how we couldn't get the story. Because I listened in. I said, well, let me hear what he about to say. And they kept chopping it up. And I was like, "Oh, okay, we can't hear the story.
They absolutely were chopping it up. I feel like they were chopping it up.
Maybe for legal reasons.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like maybe there were things that he was saying that they didn't want. They didn't want no parts of. They didn't want to be subpoenaed later on down the road. I don't know.
Okay.
But I will say this: the part that they did allow us to hear didn't make no damn sense. So
Um,
your business accused you of stealing money to take your churn ice skating, which you said you never even took your churn ice skating. And then you said that was the beginning, and then you said something about you got robbed, and then you said something about having to file bankruptcy just to get them off your back. And then
right. It was just,
none of the shit didn't make no sense to me.
that's why I'm saying it's so much that got left out for us. Now, something must have reigned with Chris because Chris seemed to be on Kevin's side as if he kind of believed him.
I think Chris wants to believe him. Because I think when he started talking about the kids and I really love my wife and I really want to make it work, but I'm really trying to figure this out. I don't want to bring her into this. And, I'm really just worried about the kids. And then he started crying and stuff. I think Chris, because again, they have been friends for a long time, or they've at least known each other for a long time. I think, it's just like anything else. You're friends with somebody and you start hearing all these things about them. You want to believe them. I don't know, Chris, because what Chris kept saying was he's confused. He ain't say, I believe what Kevin told me. He said, I'm just so confused now.
Well, my thing about it is, how can we believe everything that Winter is saying too? Because obviously she don't know everything either. Hell, she hadn't even seen the man's house before she married him.
Listen, we're gonna get to that one, but my thing is this. I said this in my review last night. I feel like the truth is just somewhere in the middle. I feel like both
Right.
of them are telling their version. And I mean, I know who I'm leaning towards, but I don't even want to necessarily say that. I'm waiting to some more stuff plays out. I know whose version of the story I'm leaning towards, but at the end of the day, though, it is a situation where it just doesn't make sense. It just ain't, 1 + 1 ain't equaling 2 in this scenario, and it don't make no sense to me. And when it don't make sense, look, in the great words of Judge Judy, if it don't make sense, it ain't true. And that's what Judge Judy told me.
Not Judge Judy.
Listen, you know how I feel about Judge
I
Judy. If
know how
Judge
you feel
Judy
about
said it.
Judith Shindlin. Oh yeah, she ain't
Yes,
Shindlin no more.
Judge Judith Shylin said it. It must be true if she said it.
Is she still Shindlin? Didn't her and the man get divorced?
No, child ain't going nowhere. They've already been divorced and got remarried. They ain't going nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Child.
this is technically her third marriage. She married her first husband, got divorced, married Shinalin, got divorced, and then they got back together and got remarried.
Didn't
So
he have like a court show at one point too?
yeah, he was over the People's Court for a while.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get back. So yeah, so that conversation happened, and like I said, I'm glad that he is there to tell his side of the
Yeah.
story. I'm
Hmm.
just not sure if his side of the story is gonna make a whole lot of sense, but I'm glad he's at least gonna be able to, because the fact that they said his name and stuff last week made me feel like that he would at least be on here at some point to tell his side of the story. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna do him any. I don't know if it's gonna help his cause or not. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, the internet is they gonna be,
Oh, they already are.
they gonna be on. They probably know the company that's involved. They
Listen,
know everything, baby. They don't play around, honey. I'm
listen,
telling you, if we need the Department of Justice is nothing compared to the internet. Okay.
listen. The internet is undefeated, and I just need people to. That's just like I'm gonna tell you. Last night, because I'm my favorite couple right now, because things do change. But my favorite couple right now is James and Raina,
I
and
love them.
I
I
love them.
love
And
them.
last night when he made the comment about about the whole jealousy stuff and the accusations of infidelity being in their past, I cringed because I was like, every woman that he ever smiled at it's gonna be in all the bloggers inboxes trying to tell their
Hmm.
story. You know how this goes. And I just don't,
Hmm.
I mean, they know what they signed up for, so I'm not tripping off of it from that point of view. But I just hate to see it because I so far, like I said, things change in the course of a season, but right now I love them. I just love what they
I
bring.
do.
I'm loving it because, girl, when she said, does Uber Eats deliver? The internet is no joke. Absolutely. Hey, KK, the internet is definitely no joke. All right, so then we have this little scene with Neil, Jamie, and Quick. Now, honestly, I really felt like that was a filler scene, but let's talk about it. They were meeting. It was one of those snowy days that we had last winter here in the district, and they were getting together. It was right before CIAA weekend. We found out that Jamie has a couple of parties going on. Quick, we know, got 15 events going on. Neil is there, who is the third couple that is going to be filming, but they're not a main couple. They're sort of friends of right now. And they were basically talking about women and the nightlife and their wives being okay with them in the nightlife and what the challenges have been. I feel like that scene was put there for future reference because it really didn't make sense in last night's episode. What do you think?
I feel like y'all know better. Y'all are men. Y'all know better. This is not a conversation for camera consumption. This is a conversation for when the cameras are off and men can just talk about some of the things that men do. But having this conversation on camera,
Well, they didn't say they were doing anything wrong. They were just saying how their wife had a problem with them being out at the clubs and assuming that they were doing something wrong. They didn't really admit to doing anything.
like you said, I think this is going
Yeah, I think it was put there for future reference. I think this
this
is
is
going to
foreshadowing.
exactly. I think this is going to be one of those. We're going to get 3 or 4 episodes, and they're going to flash back to this scene because it was weird. It was really awkward, and it was weird. I mean, I don't know if that was their way of introducing Neil. I'm not sure, but it was weird. But we'll see. But I do like the fact that the guys look like they're gonna have their own sort of like their own thing going on, kind of like on Love and Marriage Huntsville, where the guys sort of have their own thing going on. It's not just like the Housewives, where we might get a scene every once in a while, but for the most part, they're usually just the backdrop. It looks like the guys are gonna maybe kind of have their own thing going on. What's up, little baby? Hey, KK. Monique is irking all my nerves. I'm really trying to keep up with the show. Well,
Monique is right there. You know how I am. Now, Monique, I'm trying to keep you off my nerves. Your foot is not there yet, but I see you got your foot in the air and it's about to land on my nerve. I see it. I thought you was off my nerves, but that foot is in the air.
that's why I was really when you said you liked the show, I was like,
I do like the
oh,
show because the
no, no, no,
couple
I'm glad,
are
but that's
good.
why I was surprised.
the couple, I do like the couples. I even like Ashley and Quick. I know they're gonna get on my nerves at some point. I can see Ashley already gonna get on my nerves at some point.
Ashley is definitely gonna get on my nerves. Ashley's definitely gonna get on my nerves, but I think um um I think she's not gonna get on my nerves as much as I thought she was, because I feel like she's gonna be the truth barometer. Like, girl, I just say what I mean and mean what I say, and it is what it is, and I ain't taking it back. So I feel like I'm gonna maybe appreciate that, but there's always a level of too much when it comes to that. But anyway,
I'm gonna need that for winter, because baby,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be mad.
child.
Okay, are you eating crab legs?
No, I'm
Oh,
opening the halls.
oh, okay. I was like, I know you're not
It's
over
a
there cracking up.
halls. It's a piece of halls candy. Is it okay if I open up?
No, it's okay. But I was like, I know he ain't know to eat no crab legs.
No, God, no. My appetite ain't there yet. That child, I had a bowl of soup earlier.
Oh, poor Teddy. Teddy, what did Miss Honey call you? Teddylicious.
Ah, no, I'm putting the halls in my mouth.
All right. So, anything else on the guys?
Mm-mm. They was cute. I will
You
say,
have some nice looking guys
you
now. I
have
ain't
some
gonna
nice
lie now.
looking
You have some
guys.
nice looking guys.
Now that little Jamie, that
Jamie
little
is a
Jamie,
cutie. I don't care what nobody say.
the
Jamie is a
daddy
cutie,
and the
and
son, the
he is
daddy
so
and the
decent.
son is cute. The
Yeah,
daddy and the
well,
son.
and he is so DC. Like, I love how DC he is. He is so DC. I keep telling y'all this. If anybody ever wonder how a straight dude from DC talk, that Jamie is. He's got the affect. He's got the accent. He's got the language. He's got the swag. Like, he is so DC, and I love it. I love it. Now you better get some turpentine in your system. Turpentine.
Honey, that sound like little baby from the
The
rural parts of
country
Florida.
country. That's some old
Little
country
baby
country
from
stuff
the
right
country
there.
parts of Florida, honey. The parts that
Right.
I never get to, honey.
Walking around barefoot and stuff. Turpentine.
Child, little baby up there for little baby. I'm gonna be up in Crestview in like 2 weeks. I'll be in Crestview third, fourth, and fifth.
Yes, ready to love. Wish they had some dudes like JT. Really be. What's up, Demeter Joe? Exactly. Like, this
Hey,
is.
Mr. Meter Joe.
But see, that's how I knew. That is how I knew on Ready to Love. I knew they had a bunch of implants. I knew that the majority of those men were not from DC. I knew as soon as they introduced cornbread, and I said that in my review, and I said it on the panel. As soon as they introduced cornbread, I said, "Oh, he DC." As soon as he opened his mouth, I heard it. I said, he DC." And come to find out, he was born and raised in DC. It's just a certain. It's just. Again, go look at Jamie, and it is what it is. That's it. It's just go look at Jamie. All right. So we're at the dinner party, right? Monique is getting ready for the dinner party. We see her chef is preparing the feast of veganism. He said he was making the meatballs. Monique was like, meatballs? And he was like, yeah, meatless meatballs. Listen, if you are a chef that specializes in vegan food, I'm gonna need you to find other words, because they are not meatballs. And the English teacher, meatless meatballs, is that not an oxymoron?
It is. It absolutely is.
So
If
I'm gonna
they're
need
meatless meatballs, they're not meatballs.
exactly, and
They're
I need to know
veggie
what it
balls.
is exactly,
Call
and
them
I need to
veggie
know what it is.
balls.
Huh?
Call them veggie balls.
Something, but no. Like, at least like some of these other places came up with fancy names, the Impossible Burger. They came up with these fancy names, but you got to give me something different. Meatless meatballs is not the answer. Sorry.
Like, make it make sense.
Make a lot of sense. Yes, honey. All right, Monique is annoying. Oh Lord, y'all. But let me give a shout out. I did this last night. I did this in my review, and I'm gonna do it again. Let me give a shout out to my boy Corey, who was the bartender. I don't know if you paid attention with Monique was mixing up the drink and the bartender poured the drink for her. That is my boy Corey. He
When? When they was at where?
When they were at Monique's house and they were getting ready for the dinner party. You had the chef. The chef's name was Chef Mel. But then I don't know if you saw, but she was shaking up the drink and she was talking to the guy and he poured the drink and he was like, "Taste that," and she tasted it.
It probably went by too fast. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it was quick. It was a quick, but I knew him, so I was like, "Wait a minute, that's Corey." So that's my boy Corey. He has his own mobile bartending company. He does a lot of other things, but great guy, good guy. I was happy to see him. Small black business here in the area. If you need a bartender for an event, I will give y'all his number. I'll give y'all his information, but he's great. I've used him like 3 times for 3 different events that I've had, and he's always been great. He's always been great. He's always, done, his prices are great. Service is immaculate. Good guy, real good guy. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did my sister's baby shower. He did my sister's wedding, and then he did a party at the 50th wedding anniversary party I did for my parents. So I've used him 3 different times. So, and I've never been disappointed. And I've been to events where I've been to things where he's the DJ. I mean, he's the bartender. So never been disappointed. Never been disappointed. He also has like photo booth and, he's got other stuff like that he does as it relates to the bartending. So anyway, if you're in the area and you're looking for somebody, y'all let me know. I'll get y'all his number. So anyway, shout out to you, Corey. Moving on.
Shout out, Corey.
Shout out to my boy Corey. All right, moving on. So Monique is getting ready. So we see Monique sit down and talk to Chris, and that's when she tells Chris about the potential job opportunity with WPGC, and he said he's good with it. He's okay with covering the kids in the morning. And then he tells her he met with Kevin.
Mm-hmm. And Monique seemed to me like she's not here for Kevin at all. She seemed like right from the start, I ain't trying to hear nothing Kevin got to say. I believe my girl Winter. Baby, Kevin can say whatever. I don't care. Monique, sweetheart, you can't just, first of all, we done poked holes in Winter's story 30 seconds into the conversation of her talking about her ex, but you believe her wholeheartedly? Like, girl.
It's just something. It's something.
Once again, Monique and her bad decision making.
Well, I think you want to believe your friend, right? I mean,
you
want to believe your friend. But what I find interesting is, she said she was friends with Kevin too. So I find that interesting.
Like, I don't know. Like, she seemed so gung-ho for her friend Winter. And so, like, I'm not here for Kevin.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, y'all.
All right, Miss Honey, we having problems. Your device isn't connected. So I don't know if you want to give it another minute or you want to go. Okay, she went out. Okay. Hey, Monk Chip. What's up, babes?
Hey, Monk Chip. Hey, friend.
Yeah, veggie balls or something. Yeah, give me another. Right, they just balls.
Let's call them.
Mr. Joe said they just balls. Damn, just call them balls.
Some of us like balls in our mouths.
Something. Give me something.
Give me them balls.
Right, just give them balls. So anyway, I feel like in Monique's case, it's a situation where I'm riding with my girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding with my girl. I don't know, but we'll see. So we see Quick and Ashley stop and get something to eat on their way, which I can respect that. What's up, lovely 31 Blueprint? I can respect that. You know why I can respect that? Because you're not going to be rude to the host by, vegan food. I don't want no vegan food. Knowing it was going to be vegan food when you were invited and you were you just going to go and get you something to eat on the way just in case.
Right. But I do think that as a host, just like if I'm hosting something, I always make sure that there's a vegetarian or vegan option, right, because you may have those people who want that. If you're going to do something vegan, you might need to have an option say, oh shoot, what is that?
Let me know when you're ready, Miss Honey. I see you.
But you
All
might
right.
want to have an option for those people who be like, okay, I still need me some beef in my life or something. Say, I know everybody don't eat vegan, but here's one option. Here's an egg roll or something over here that got some chicken over in it or something.
Well, if her goal was to introduce people to vegan food, and I mean, why? I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. But you're right. You're right. I do always make sure that I have a vegan option for people when I have something or have an event or something like that. Welcome to the panel, Miss Honey. How you doing, love?
Hey, Miss Honey,
Hey, Tedicus, are you feeling better?
I'm here.
Good.
All right. I'm better than I was.
What is
I'm
good?
continuing to pray for you.
Yes, please pray my strength in the Lord.
So, Miss Honey,
Amen.
before we dig into this dinner party, which was basically the main event, anything that happened prior to that you want to add your 2 cents to? Any of the other things that happened on this episode that you want to kind of double back on?
I want to say thank you for inviting me to have the conversation. I really appreciate it. And hello to everyone in the chat. I 110% agree with Tedicus about those suits. It's no reason for it. It's no reason that he should always look like an independent State Farm salesman. There's absolutely no reason for you to be in your home at a dinner party and you are still wearing a suit and tie. I don't get it. Why can't you just leave your buttons open kind of lackadaisy? Why do you have to be suited up at all times?
And then the suits you have don't even fit you. Don't
I
even
don't
look
get it.
good.
And they always look like they're full of poo. Like you know how your a baby has like a heavy diaper, and that's what he looks like. He's wearing a heavy diaper. And I agree with you about Monique should know better. I definitely agree that something's up with this Kevin guy. It's just typically when you ask someone a straightforward question and they go up and down the bunny trails and around on the gerbil wheel, that denotes lying. And if it sounds like a lie, it feels like a lie, it's probably a lie. And I think that we're going to talk about Winter in a little bit, but I think that Winter needs to pump her brakes a little bit because if he is this criminal mastermind, sis, and you are a life coach, sis,
Right.
all the bad things you say about him indirectly bounces off him and sticks to you. Indirectly, like part of this is your doing. So let's pump your brakes a little bit, Miss Thing. Just pump your brakes a little bit. Okay. And DJ works a lot.
I think
Dude,
DJ works a lot.
that's all he talks about is how much he works. It's something odd about DJ Quicksilver for me. I don't get it. I don't know if it's his natural H shape or his stature or the fact that his voice floats in and out of this Mickey Mouse kind of tone. And
natural H
it
shape.
just, I don't know. It's something about it. I'm just going to wait. And, there's a lot of conversation about infidelity, and we're going to find out in a couple of more episodes that they have, their own issues. So it's just weird. It's a lot of mudslinging, you guys, and everyone's living in glass houses. That's all I'm going to say. Now continue.
All right. Very good. So the dinner party has started. The couples are showing up. We have Neil and his wife, who we find out was Monique's former hairdresser before she went to the dreads when she would do the. And I will say this: Monique used to give us some great looks
Beautiful
in her confessionals on Real Housewives of
She
Potomac.
did. Now you can't never come to that woman looks.
No,
now
Monique.
You want to say about Monique?
Yeah, now I'm gonna give you that. Monique wears an outfit, and she definitely used to give us some great hair moments. Because even before she went with the dreads, she was natural. I mean, she would give you a wig from time to time, but when she didn't have her wig on, she would give you braids or she would give you a natural look. So I was here for that. I was here for that. So they're sort of like the fourth couple, and I feel like Winter and Kevin were supposed to be the fifth couple, but like we already talked about how that they ain't quite make it to Showtime, So So everybody is showing up for the party, and is it me or I'm sick of them going back to this damn anniversary party and expecting Jamie and Raina to have the blueprint to a perfect marriage.
Right.
And
Let the people party.
right.
And
And James even said, he said, our marriage isn't this. He said, our marriage is this. And then they were like, well, what? Well, what were the challenges? Well, tell us. Well, tell us. Well, tell us. And I'm thinking to myself,
leave
why
these
do
people
they
alone.
need to expose their problems to help y'all? Like, I didn't understand that.
I didn't
I
either.
it annoyed me last week. I just didn't get it. First of all, it wasn't much of a party, let alone a Q&A session. So why are you guys, it should be doing nothing but drinking and forgetting about the fact that these tables have no table coverings on them whatsoever, and there's no table service. I
Oh,
digress.
God.
But this week I started to think maybe they're trying to get them to be more salacious. Maybe they're trying to pull the dirt out because they want to, to make the show more spicy. They were so relentless about it. I was like, these are your go-to couples. You guys have got pastors. You're in DC. You have, respected political figures that you probably know, business owners. Why are you guys pushing these individuals? And part of me thinks it's because they're on the show together.
Right. And honestly, I mean, and again, I know we're making TV, so I'm gonna put the caveat in there that it's for a good scene. But the other side of it is when a married couple says to you that's been married for 26 years and they say to you, hey, we love each other, we're probably in the best space we've ever been, but know that our marriage has had the peaks and the valleys. Read between the lines. I think you can read between the line and understand what they're trying to tell you is like, listen, this thing ain't always been peaches and cream. And
Mm-hmm.
most marriages deal with the same issues, money issues, infidelity, maybe fertility. Like most marriages have the same peaks and valleys. So read between the lines. Why do y'all need them to outline for you what the peak and the valley was? And I felt like, and again,
It got annoying. It got very
it was
annoying.
very annoying for me. It was very annoying,
Yeah.
and then
I have to say too, I think it was really the onus can kind of be dropped on the Tylers as well, because at any point that you feel uncomfortable, it's time to say, you know what, we've had our peaks and valleys. What we try to do is be very discreet about how much we reveal about what's going on with us, especially if we've moved to a place of resolve. They're both adult professionals. Like at this point, you see that these people are bird dogging you. Tell them hell no, professionally, but hell no. Speak up.
yeah, no, I agree, and that's why I say that some of it, I agree, because I think there's only been so many times I can politely say no.
Because even last episode, Chris even had to step in and say, hey, I understand. Let them have their party. Because Chris did step in and say, well, hey, let's let them enjoy their party. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, there's no book that's gonna magically fix every marriage. Otherwise, whoever that is would be a billionaire by now.
Even if it worked perfectly for them, it could completely blow up in your face. That same technique could completely blow up in
Because
your
y'all have the
face.
same situation. Like,
Your
And
husbands
that's what
don't
I
have the
said.
same temperament. They both got shushed. Irena and Monique both got shushed differently, but both shushed in this episode.
yeah.
And honestly, that was what was in my review. I was like, I wasn't offended. Okay, so let's get to this. Winter was offended when Jamie shushed Raina. Now, I wasn't offended because in the context in which it happened, I felt like they were talking about the trip to Africa, and Monique was saying how they were going to Africa, they were going to go to Kenya, and they went somewhere else. And she started saying, see, that's what I want to do. And he was like, oh, hush. I didn't take it offensive because I felt like that was a married couple who's probably had the same conversation a million times about going to Africa, and he don't want to go and she wants to go. And, she was getting ready to be like, see. And he was like, girl, hush. Am I wrong, or did y'all see it differently? Tell me.
No. I didn't take it. It wasn't until I talked to my best friend about it, and he was like, "Did you see how both of them got shushed?" And I was like, "It just really it didn't seem like that. It didn't seem that heavy handed or that offensive to me." I noticed the Chris one, but I had to go back and look at the one with Raina and Jamie. But I noticed the Chris one, but it didn't, because in that moment they were in the heat of, okay, I need you to hush for right now, okay, and let me get, because I felt like Monique would have never let Chris talk, and you know that's how Monique is. She will talk over him.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't offended by Jamie either. I just thought that was their family dynamics. I will say this. I know it's for the show, but never, ever, ever invite single people to a couples get together. It's
Yeah, because Winter shouldn't have been there.
She shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
I mean, she was out of place. She was out of pocket. She shouldn't have been there. Period. And her jumping in on that comment, even though it was in confessional, spoke to why it was out of order for her to be talking about it. In my opinion, I think I would have been more offended if I was a rain up for the hand. The hand is the issue. Plus, the way he was stopping her, it didn't bother me. I just thought it was their dynamics. And I think Chris's hush was out of frustration, which I know we're going to talk about. So go ahead.
Yeah, Chris's hush was out of frustration.
Hey, James.
What's up, Spill It Boy?
Hey, mother.
Yeah, Chris's hush was out of frustration. And I think he was just, because again, she wouldn't let him finish what he was saying. If she had let him finish what he was saying, I feel like the point he was trying to make was valid. Even she had to admit that after he finished talking.
I was such a want moment.
To go back to what Miss Honey was saying, I feel like every time I see Winter, I feel like she doesn't fit. Like she always feels like one of these kids is doing his own thing type, you know? And I know she's probably there to just cause whatever mess or, you know, to stir the pot or whatever. But I just feel she just feels out of place for me at this point.
I think Winter's going to get exposed. I do. I think Winter is in complete in full knowledge of what this man does or has some idea about his past. I noticed that when they played the old videos of Winter and him, she had her hair cut off then. Now, it's not to say that she can't still be going through something dramatic, but I think Winter is strategic. I think right now she's in victim mode where she wants to be mollycoddled as the victim. I think this is going to be her out in this situation. But at the end of the day, I think she knows a lot more than what she's saying. Winter is this season's fodder. You know, we always have to have our fodder that we pick apart and that is safe to go in on, and we don't have to worry about them next season. I think that's Winter.
Yeah, that's the thing. Winter did a live, and again, I was telling El Teddy, she dropped, I'm gonna do a separate video on it, but one of the things she said in the live was that her shaving her hair is not new. She said she's been wearing that hairstyle for about 5 years now, and people who know her know that that's not new. So for them to make it seem like a man made her shave her head, you know, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's not new.
I do think it does speak to a deeper psychosis. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's not even blended. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's not cute. Like, again, we've seen that style before, but the way she has it done is not.
It's just so abrupt. It's just the most abrupt thing. It's like someone snatched it out.
Yeah, it's weird and it's awkward and it's
yeah. I think it speaks to a deeper psychosis. I don't care what anyone says.
Well, there you go. So Monique lets us know that they're homeschooling the kids, they're going to Africa, yada yada yada, and then they get to talking about. Jamie asked him about being afraid. Okay, I'm about to be petty for a minute. And y'all let me know if I'm being too nitpicky, but
to Monique,
all of them done had COVID 5,000 times. What are they doing? When Monique said, I don't live in fear, to me, there's a difference between saying I don't live in fear versus I'm being cautious and I'm being responsible. You have 3 children, ma'am. The fact that you had COVID twice and Chris had COVID, I just, what are y'all doing?
I do think it's harder with children, though. I do think it's harder to avoid with children. I mean, they're little carriers anyway, and they're not sick, but they're carrying sickness, a lot of times.
But
So,
let me say this: if their kids are homeschooled, they don't
yeah,
even have the
that,
added element of the kids going. Like I know for me, being in a school, I mean, I get letters daily that we had a positive case in the building. I just can't help it. I got to work. Like I can't not go to work. But your kids ain't leaving the house.
yeah,
And I do know that
I see your point.
Chris does work outside of the home. He coaches at a high school. So maybe Chris brought it home. I don't know. But her saying that hit me some kind of way for her to be like, well, no, I don't live in fear. And I'm like, but there's a difference between fear and caution.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that just might be me being
nitpicky. I'm always shocked. When people say they've had it to who is I am Zoe on Instagram. I know you effing lie. He's had it like 3 or 4 times. He's had it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like it's just for some people they just don't care. They just don't care.
Gives me that she be around there in these streets, okay?
I was surprised to see she had it because she's so holistic.
Well, that's what Shed Pearl just said in the chat. Shed said them essential oils must not be working. I don't know. I just question. And again, I ain't judging nobody. I just found it surprising that, again, I just think there's a big difference between, no, she said the kids are homeschooled. She said she pulled them out of school a couple of years ago. So they're homeschooled. She teaches.
So this was pre-COVID. They've been homeschooled since COVID, before COVID.
Yeah, they were homeschooled. The way she said it sounded like it was before COVID.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's not virtual. They're not virtual. They're homeschooled. Okay, but with that being said, that's what opened up the door to this conversation with Monique saying how when she was sick with COVID, how they ain't even come and check on her. She could have been dying and ain't nobody come and check on her. I feel like that comment was specifically designed to throw Chris out there and put a bullseye on him. And that's why he felt the need to defend himself. I don't know what y'all think.
I feel like I absolutely feel exactly what you said. And I feel like you can't keep doing that. You can't keep trying to throw this man under the bus and then think that he's not going to say anything or retaliate because that's your storyline or because that's going to make you look more.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you negative or the, antagonist edit on Bravo, but even that's coming out now on this show. You are who you are. I mean, at this point, from here to the end of this dinner scene, she came out as that same old Monique that a lot of people had issue with back in the Bravo days. And I just didn't like how she wouldn't even let the man talk. Like all he was trying to do was explain his side of it. And every time he opened his mouth, she would immediately start talking over him as if she didn't want his story to be told. I don't know.
Honey?
Well, you guys know that. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, somebody call me, child. You guys know that I am Team Monique, and I like Monique a lot. Monique is a lot of who she is. I'm good at a lot of different things, and I'm also a little type A. And I like things to be just so I can be a bit controlling as well. And I have to continually work on editing because I'll be 52 this year. So I can get in a conversation with someone and just talk like we're talking on the phone, forgetting I'm on a panel, and I need to edit. And also I need to edit in disagreeing. Monique is a nitpicker. Okay. Having said all that, I really like her, but Monique is a nitpicker, right? And she's a quantifier, which means she's a tit for tat, a right fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't have shut mouth grace, as my mom says. She doesn't know how to edit herself. She can get everything she wants from Chris if she would stand back and reapproach and do it in a different way. But because she is rah, 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 she walked in, she was like, "What are you wearing?" Even when he tried to tell her about the Kevin thing, I don't know, maybe it was editing, but she came across like she was dismissing him,
Yeah. Yeah.
dismissing his conversation, dismissing his opinion, his thoughts
Yeah.
about the conversation that he was a part of, not her, but him.
Right.
I agree.
And I think she should have been way more demonstrative about apologizing for accusing him of not checking on her, and then um, being so mouthy that you forgot the fact that you said it. I didn't say that. I said this. No, you're a right fighter. You're
Mm-hmm.
quantifying every little bit. Even the fact that he was talking about you being previously sick and him checking on you and you getting on him. Now, don't say that. Now that you're quantifying. It doesn't take
Right.
all of that.
Right.
Okay. But then also that you don't know when to shut up. That's why he said, hush. Well, hush then. And if you pay attention, every time she starts to talk, whether it's to him or not, about them or not, he cuts his eyes just like his mama did all them episodes ago when she was up talking before she called her a heifer. And the mama, she, was kind of half roll, like it was almost like, I wish you would shut the duck up. Let someone else talk. Let someone else
Mhm.
weigh in. And it's something she has to be careful with. He may love her, like I said on my review, till she is 95 years old, till they are old and gray. He could stay with her and never divorce her and still not like her.
There you go. And I'm gonna say this. I think I agree with everything you just said because I like Monique too. But I'm gonna call a spade and a thing a thing, you know. But I do like Monique, but I think that everything you just said makes a lot of sense. It absolutely does. And sometimes you just gotta let stuff go and be like, okay. And like you said, I do feel like once he explained what he said, I do feel like she owed him a bigger apology than what she gave.
She did. She absolutely did. I am
But
so
she
sorry.
made it
You are
seem like he
right.
didn't even care. And he was like, "Boo, you quarantined. How am I supposed to even know?" And as soon as you let me know, we were there checking up on you all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that it's a mistake. I think she's a very smart, savvy woman. I am so proud of the follow through that she's done on both of her business, especially considering how Giselle went womp womp with that every hue.
Okay.
Monique has
Every
done
heel
an
win.
excellent job, yeah, of building a brand for herself. It's a missed opportunity for you not to be able to approach your husband and get what it is you need for him without, you know, doing the chokehold on him, yoking his chain,
Mhm.
embarrassing him, dismissing him, minimizing him. You know that's not going to be effective. You know that's not going to be effective.
Yep. I forgot how they met too. Honestly, I don't remember how Monique and
They were
Chris
in
met.
college, so they were young too.
No, they didn't meet in college.
Oh yeah, I thought so.
No. Chris was already living here in DC playing for the Washington team when they met.
Oh,
He
because
went
I
to
thought
college
that's
and he
how
went
the conversation about the townhouse
to,
that they rent out came about.
he had that townhouse. Remember, she said that he already had that townhouse when they met.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
I assumed it was
that was his
college.
first house that he bought when he first went into the league. Yeah.
Okay.
Quiet as kept a lot. Shut up. I'll say
Yeah.
that backstage. Anyway, um, just say I know what a townhouse is, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But no, he went to school in Alabama. No, she didn't go to college with them. Mm-mm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't even. Well, I don't know, but I don't remember. She was hanging outside that football stadium talking about child.
I mean, but she's an outstanding wife. Those kids are snatched. That house snatched. Every time they go somewhere, those photos.
Oh yeah,
She is snatch. I mean, she's an asset to him just as much as he is an asset to her.
absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I like Monique, but I just think what I don't want to see happen is that you executive produce yourself into a situation
Ooh,
get
that's
yourself out of.
powerful.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's powerful. Oh my
Yeah.
my.
I just that's listen.
You ain't
That's all
lying.
I
That's a very valid point.
Maybe she could be executive producer her divorce.
Yeah. Yeah.
listen. Okay,
I think
Ashley,
he's a faithful man. I don't think he would ever leave her. But when he was cutting them eyes at her, you could just see in his face that he really wished she would take it down a notch.
Absolutely, I agree. Now the other thing that happened at the dinner table was Monique brought up the fact that Chris had talked to Kevin, and that again, I feel like Monique kind of put Chris out there by saying, and Chris said he's a little confused after talking to Kevin, and went to,
And she was responding to Monique's body language too. But Monique's body language said he gonna talk to Chris and talk to Kevin, and this what he said. I was like, girl.
And she felt some kind of way about it because her thing was, I know what happened. I have receipts. And then when she started telling it, I was like,
here we go. Didn't we hear this already?
Like, her story is A and his story is Z. We need to get the M because
at this point, I can't believe anything that she says because everything she said at this point is unbelievable. Like, I can't believe it. You are a life coach, baby. You have just written your resignation letter for the profession of life coaching because nobody across the fruited plains is going to want you to coach anything about their relationship life or anything. You married a man and had never even been to his house.
Now her story is just as elaborate as his lie.
Exactly.
Yeah, both of their stories is crazy because now the part about because like I said, I did look at her live. And I'm going to do a separate video about it. But some of the things that she said in the live was that he stole money from the business. That's pretty much what he said. He just tried to say it in a way that didn't make sense. But essentially, you said that you were accused of taking money from the business. And she said that he was swindling people, that his business partners still trying to get their money from him, that he was swindling money from the elderly and blah, 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 getting people life insurance checks over to him and all kinds of stuff is what she said was going down. Now, as far as the life coach situation, she said, I haven't, you know how some people say stuff where they think they've proven a point, but it makes them sound sillier. So she was like, I haven't been a life coach for like 4 or 5 years. I am a full-time minister and public speaker now.
Well, why would you even say that?
But that
because that's your brand. Your brand is your sad sap story that you are married to because it garners sympathy.
Right. Because to me, that doesn't help. Just because you are no longer a life coach doesn't mean that you no longer have the skills. A relationship coach doesn't mean El Teddy is no longer working in the capacity of an English teacher. That doesn't mean he doesn't still garner the skills and he can't edit a paper. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And then you saying that you are now in ministry. To me, that's all the more reason. Because are you out here ministering to married couples and to people in relationships? Like, you saying that doesn't absolve you. And then she said, well, we were abstinent and that's why we didn't see each other's houses because we didn't want to go to each other's houses because we didn't want to tempt each other. Girl, I don't care. I don't
8 times in one day. We've done it 8 times in one day already. We've had sex 8 times already.
The thing about it is, I really feel like she knew what he was doing before the hammer got dropped. And she left because she wanted to be detached from it. So she could remember if she's married to him, she has to go down with him. But I feel like she knew what was going on before and didn't think that he was going to get caught or something. And then when things started to go awry and she figured out he was going to get caught, she was like, nope, I ain't been in this marriage long enough. I can lay claim to, I ain't know. Let me get out of here. Let me try to divorce him and all of this stuff before the gauntlet gets dropped. because I wholeheartedly believe she knew exactly what he had going on.
I
I
think
think they
people.
just both got two different. They're both kind of scammers. His may be a little bit more tangible than hers, but to me, what she's pushing, according to what you're saying, really be what she's pushing is the on trend scam, which you're speaking to women, middle aged women in a certain demographic who have disposable income, who are broken and sad and desperate to be married, desperate to figure their situation out. That's where a lot of people are getting their revenue from. They're preaching to a
Mhm,
particular
mhm.
demographic, and that story that she keeps pushing, in the way that she's pushing it, it is meant to pull the heart and purse strings of a certain demographic. Period, and it's still scamming.
And I'm gonna say this: I think that there is guilt by ignorance, guilt by omission. So I say
Yeah.
that to say this: if I start dating someone and I know they got money because we live in a certain lifestyle, so there's money coming in. Before I marry you and I link myself to you, I need to understand it. If your job is so complicated that it doesn't make sense to me, then we need to have some better questions. And so I say that to say, I agree with what El Teddy saying to a certain extent. I don't think she knew specifically that he was scamming allegedly, but I think that she was okay with not understanding how he made his money. And that's still guilty though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that she was in on it, and I don't think that she was a part of the scam. But I do feel like exactly Philly John, another Jen Shaw. Like the math ain't math, and you sit here, you sit here and explain to me how you make your money, and I'm still sitting here confused. Houston, we have a problem because I should be able to understand what you're saying. Like it should make sense. I should be able to add 2 plus 2 and get 4. And I think that was the situation with them. You didn't ask the questions because you really didn't want the answers because you were just okay with the end result. Same thing with not knowing where the man lived. You didn't you
That's
can't just
bullshit.
right. You can't sit here and write off everything as, oh, well, we were abstinent and we were this and we were that. I don't care about you being abstinent. I'm not linking myself to someone. Even yeah, I'm not linking myself to someone, and I don't, especially in this point in the game,
She
we too
wouldn't even
old for
give
that.
that. First of all, if you're a life
Especially since you've been burned before.
right, and if you're a life
Exactly.
and relationship coach, you wouldn't even give that advice to somebody you were coaching. You would, if somebody came to you and told you that same kind of foolishness, you would look at like them like they had done lost their mind.
Listen, there's certain things, especially at this point, like winter, you're not no spring chicken girl. You've been around the barn a couple of times, as we all have at this point. There are certain things at this point in my life and at this point in what I'm looking for in
I ain't
a
gonna fall
relationship
for it.
or whatever. Say that what?
I ain't gonna fall for it. Not at this.
Just let that go.
I mean, I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm telling you now, if you get out, we've been dating for a little while and I haven't been to your house. If you get out of this car and go in the convenience store, I'm looking in your glove box and I'm gonna
Listen,
get your address off your insurance card or your registration
listen.
paperwork.
I Google everybody that I go out on a date with at this
Google
point,
you down. I will Google you
and
down. I'll
trust and
pay
believe.
$14.95 for a 7-day trial, baby.
Okay, my best friend gets all the information before I walk out the door. I
Yeah.
started that in college. I went to an all girls
Mhm.
college, and when we went out on a date, trust and believe somebody was in the window writing down the license tag of the car.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
We
Yeah, you
did
can't
that.
play with people. It's 2020. You cannot play with these
We
people.
was
No.
doing this, and we
No.
were like I said, I've been doing that since college because we were an all girls school, and got and again we were young and dumb, and we made bad decisions. And I look back on some of the dumb stuff we did, and thank God that I'm still here to tell the story because we made some bad decisions that could have got us in
Oh
trouble. You know,
yeah.
but one thing
Even
we
with the
always made
license
sure we
plate,
did.
they just knew where to find you. But even now, you can give somebody a license plate and never come back home, and that person can be like, "I left
And
them
that's
at
all
two
they
in the
got.
afternoon." So
Exactly.
before you even get involved with this person, before you get in a car with this person, before you have them to your home, you go to their home. It's best that you run a light background check on somebody. I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
it's
And
the
I mean,
safest thing to do.
again, at this point and at this point in the game of where I am in my life, there's just certain things that are non-negotiables for me. It just is. And I absolutely
Yeah.
need to see how you living, because you might have a real nice house and it might be nasty. You might have creepy crawlies. It could be anything, and I need to know. I
Yeah. It
need to
used to be
know.
something so daring and exhilarating about that 2 a.m. booty call. You just throw a bag in the car and you head over. No,
Yeah.
ma'am. No, ma'am. You may never be seen from, heard from
Again,
again.
exactly. And again, we look at things with a different lens now, but and I say all that to say, Winter girl, what you not gonna do? You're not gonna piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Now you can
Right.
Yeah.
sit there and do all the lives you want to
Yeah.
do, and you can talk all the, because like I said, some of the stuff she said was just petty. It was unnecessary and it was petty
Hmm.
and it was mean. Like, it's one thing to tell your side of the story, but then
Baby, I
there's
was sitting over
lies.
there like Ashley, looking at her like, girl. I was Ashley the whole time, like, girl, I don't believe you, honey. None of this shit is
You're
making
And
sense.
to me,
actually
the more she gets offended, it it just it makes it more suspicious. I mean, she is extremely defensive. And
yeah.
usually when you start to poke holes into someone's story, it's the diversion is this anger, you know.
You
So
know, I
And
mean, everybody had that story to where, you go on a date, you always tell your friend, listen, you got 15 minutes from the time I get there, you call my phone. If I answer the phone, that means that means that it ain't going well. If I ignore this phone call, that means it's going good. Hey, girl, you can leave me alone. Girl, but
right.
child,
Been there, listen, been there and done that too. Like, listen, I'm meeting him for dinner at 8 o'clock. Call me at 8:30.
hmm
And I'll let you, right. Like you said, the way I answer the phone, I'll let you know what it is and how it is. But I just feel like, and for me, after watching her live, honestly, I don't feel like the live did her any favors. Now we know how this goes. We all review shows, and especially reality TV. We know how this goes. There's gonna be people that's gonna be Team Winter. There's gonna be people that's gonna be Team Kevin. There's gonna be people that's gonna be in the middle. So I'm open to continuing to hear the conversation, but I don't think Kevin did himself any favors either. Let's be
nope.
clear. But I certainly don't think Winter did
oh my
herself any
gosh, he
favors.
seemed so feeble too. It was just he was so feeble looking. Is it me or is he just like all one
I think he is.
color and everything? It's odd. His hair, his skin, his lips, everything is one color. I was like, he's throwing me off this whole look. And then the way he was explaining it, it just sounds so car salesman. Like when he was like, my kids don't even ice skate. Do you really think this story is about ice skating, sir?
Yeah, it ain't
You
about
really
Right.
think this story is about ice skating?
Right.
Don't
Like,
do it. Don't you do it. It's
oh
about
Lord.
money.
Now
Have
she
you
was
taken
really serious
money?
about these ice skaters. I was like, girl, really ice skating? Like,
Yeah,
I
so
was
Chris was
thinking,
supposed to be like, I totally believe you, especially since you never taken your kids ice
Hey
skating.
Andre, how
but
you doing?
but the thing about it is, we're not here for ice skate. Let's be clear. People who have like company cards and stuff. Maybe you make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? You go to work the next day. Hey, I made a mistake. Here's the money back. I ain't mean to. I pulled the wrong card. Dot 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 dot. And this ain't no ice skating situation, boo.
Mm-mm.
No,
This
No.
is not no
no.
Listen,
ice skate.
These people found you out and they pulled their money
And
out and their
you ain't gonna
support
be like,
out.
and you ain't gonna be like,
Chris,
find
I
the
was
Anna.
thinking it, but I ain't gonna say that out loud. But I agree with you. I do feel like there may be a little something there that I'm
Mm-mm,
definitely
no, this sounds like a situation like Finding Anna, where that girl had to spend the whole trip to Morocco on the company card and went back to work and thought she was gonna get her money back. No, ma'am. Honey.
wow.
Yeah, it's gonna come out. I mean, between the show airing and the next time it airs, someone's gonna find out. Someone's
Mhm.
gonna have the tea. It's gonna
Oh yeah,
come out.
the internet is undefeated in that
Yeah,
regard, baby.
it always does.
Listen, the
And
Department of
I
Justice,
think
CIA,
she's gonna
and
be
FBI,
exposed too.
the Department of Justice, CIA, and FBI have nothing on the internet. Okay.
Child, the
Yeah.
internet is undefeated. I keep telling y'all, it is undefeated. Demeter Joe, I did not. I'm some of the stuff. I'll go ahead and say it here because I'm not gonna put everything in my video because I think some stuff she said was just real unnecessary and petty. So one of the things that she said in her live, she talked about how the man uses Maybelline liquid eyeliner or something to cover up his gray hair. And she really made a big deal about it. And I don't see what the big deal is. People do that all the time.
I
Men,
mean,
especially men. We know about
men use
Beijing.
regime and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
how
it
much
might be
gray
a little-
hair he covering though? It's just like his
Right.
I think it's
mustache.
like 60
Now,
or
it might
something
be a
like
little
that.
unorthodox that he's using Maybelline, but she made it seem like it was a big deal that he was covering up his gray hair. Girl, you know you married a 60-year-old. And
Yeah.
that doesn't automatically mean just because he's 60 he has
I don't
gray
think
hair,
she
but
needs to go any further in trying to diminish him because
right,
the
but
money
that's
scandal
the
diminishes
stuff.
him enough.
That's the stuff that looks petty to me. It's like, why are you sitting here telling a story about how you thought the makeup belonged to your daughter, but it belonged to him? And
She knows what
who
she's
knew that
doing.
men did it? And I'm like, men do it all the
Yeah, she
time.
knows
Men
what she's
use
doing. She knows the implication of what she is saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's doing. She's trying to weaponize allegation, and she's doing it in a way where you make your own conclusions. But she's leading you to make those conclusions, and it's just as egregious as saying it and you know it's not true. You know, this is what makes her not credible to me. These things you're saying,
that's what I'm saying.
This is what makes
stuff.
her not credible
Yeah,
to me.
exactly. That's the stuff that I'm talking about. Well, part 2 of this dinner conversation is next week, and it looks like Ashley and Winter end up sort of getting into it. And that's why I said at the beginning of this, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Ashley, but I feel like there are gonna be moments where I'm gonna love Ashley, and I feel like at this dinner table I'm gonna be loving Ashley because I feel like she's gonna call Winter on her bullshit. I don't know. But I'm
looking forward to Carry On and DJ Silva and their mentorship. I'm rooting for Carry On.
Did you see Carry On?
Did you say Carry On?
I'm rooting for
Carry On like that. I love Carry On.
I know.
I love you. Don't do that.
But you have to admit that Jamie's stature and size.
I feel like he's not taller.
And Jamie Jr.
taller.
They're very similar. Jamie Sr. looks like Kurt Franklin, and Jamie Jr. looks like Carry On a little bit.
Don't do that.
It's very similar.
Wait a minute. Y'all know what I was saying to myself. Me and Ty were talking about this earlier. Think about like when we heard that first argument, the phone conversation between Kurt Franklin and Carry On. We never had the visual, but think about Carry On is tall. He's about a good 6'2". Kirk Franklin is like 4'10". Imagine a little munchkin behind Kirk Franklin cussing and going off.
So about the size of
Carry On like this. I'm telling you, it had to be the funniest thing in the world to see this whole argument where Kirk Franklin is cussing out Carry On. It really had to look.
And Jamie Sr., Big Jamie, seems like he will cuss you from stem to stern.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like Big Jamie, not only will he cuss you, I feel like he got some hands.
Oh yeah. I feel like that was part. I feel like what happened. I'm gonna tell you. See, I could give you from a male perspective. Usually, when you have a fallout like that with a dad and the son, it ain't just no conversation type situation. It's usually one of those times where, hey, I'm big and I'm grown now. You ain't gonna be putting your hands on me like this. And he said, oh, I bet you I am. And the dad put the 1 and 2 on the son. And he said, nah, bro, we ain't doing this no more. And that was it. We ain't got to talk no more on this. I ain't saying definitively, but a lot of times that be the case.
Well, I'm rooting for little Jamie.
Huntsville. So Lauren Bishop said, some men cover up a few strands of gray hair with eyeliner. You can get away with that for a few hairs without happening to dye the whole head. My uncle does that, and he still looks 30 years old. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it's a big deal. Girl, you married a man who was 60 years old.
Right.
You mad because he covering up his gray hair?
Yeah. It isn't a big deal. The implication that she's making, what she's implying is the big deal. She knows what she's doing.
Oh,
She's trying to
yeah.
imply he wears makeup and all of that stuff.
Exactly,
That's what
because she
she's
made a
trying
couple
to
of, she
imply.
implied a few other things. And like I said, I'm not going to include everything when I do my little recap, only because, like I said, some of it I just think it's salacious. It gets to the point of being salacious for no reason. But she implies other things throughout her live along those same lines as well. And again, that doesn't make you look good. Like that doesn't make you look good. I'm sorry.
Right.
But anyway.
But you're the relationship guru and expert. Girl, get your life.
Right. Okay. But y'all hold on a minute. Don't click off. Thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. If you are not subscribed to L Teddy 27 or Miss Honey, please make sure that y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Little baby, I should have asked you to do this already. I'm sorry. Can you drop the links for me, please, for Miss Honey and L Teddy 27? Also, I saw my girl Andrea in the chat. Andrea Nelson, I'm gonna put her up on the screen. She's one of my co-hosts for Ladies Night that we do bi-weekly. Y'all make sure y'all check her out as well. She's got some good content over on her channel. Abby Reviews was in here a little bit earlier, but she, it's Sunday fun day for her. Shout out to TC HBCU Beauty Queen TV. We know we have common friends in real life. So shout out, thank you for being here. Of course, Spill It Boy was here, so y'all definitely make sure y'all checking out Spill It Boy TV. He reviews the show. And Yocrates, y'all know that's my one of my co-panelists on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. He was here last week. So y'all make sure y'all are checking all of these content creators out. If I missed anybody, charge it to my head and not my heart. And I'm going to catch y'all. We'll be here next week. Same bad channel, same bad time. Thank you, Miss Honey, for coming up in the clutch. Appreciate you. Same thing with you, El Teddy. I know you're not feeling 100%, but I appreciate you coming through in the clutch for a sister. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Y'all hold tight real quick because I want to tell y'all something backstage. All right. Thank y'all. What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video.